All right, welcome to another day, another SAT Solve Live. Today I'm going to go over a writing section, which I've been saying that it wouldn't be my real focus, but I have a tutoring session coming up anyway, so might as well get through this. So today I'll be going over the April 2019 school day SAT. Let me just pull that up and update. How come it doesn't show? Please, iPad, show up. I might have to turn off my streaming software and come back if this doesn't work. Just give me a second to. Well, let's just solve this first, at least. Writing test 2019 April school day QAS. And for some reason my iPad is not being detected. Give me a second, guys. Oh my god. Are you serious? Now it's going through? Dude. Oh my god. I cannot believe. You know what it is? It's because I pulled some plugs and replugged them and it just got messed up. Oh my god, that's so annoying. I had such great explanations too. Holy sh. My explanations are so good. They were so on point. Okay, you guys will never hear them. All right. Well, super sad, but Caleb, I am so thankful that you came and you told me this. I've been having technical problem after technical problem after technical problem. This is just insane. This is insane. I need a procedure. I need like a checklist to go through, but it's insane. All right. Thank you, Caleb. Thanks, Caleb. Everyone who's watching this, please thank Caleb. Dude, oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to recap at least the things that I just explained. Okay, so I'm kind of curious if I had zero audio from the very beginning or if it cut out in the middle after I changed out the screen, but I'll look into that later. So I'm showing the screen again. Okay, let me just go through. Okay. What I was emphasizing at the very end after time was over was just that you really have to be paying attention to the whole paragraph as you go. Like that prediction over here, I made that prediction, right? Because I knew both countries were on the cusp of great change, and then suddenly it only talked about Jamaica. It feels very awkward. So I knew that, dude, I had such amazing predictions. Holy crap, I'm so sad. My predictions are so good. Anyway, and dude, I was feeling so good. And then it's okay. The next I'll do it again. I'll do it again in the next passage. But anyway, and then over here too, with the unity, you got to be paying attention because in the previous paragraph, it's talking about he declared unity. He emphasized unity. His motto encapsulated unity. He's talking unity. And then my prediction was he both spoke about and inspired unity that day, which is okay because that's a 50-50 split. It emphasizes the speaking and the inspiring equally, but actually the correct answer is better than my prediction. He did not just speak about it, he also inspired it, right? That's a much better one. Why? Because that isn't a 50-50 emphasis, it's like a 30-70 emphasis or 20-80 emphasis. Actually, it's more like a 20-80 emphasis. What it is it's transitioning from the speaking, which was over here, to the inspiring, which is here. The inspiring is everyone through the same moment feeling a very meaningful connection and sharing a one single experience all together. Okay, that's the inspiring of the unity. So it's all right there. So yeah, it's a really good passage. I'm so sad that the audio was gone for that, but it's a really good passage for demonstrating why it's important to just read and keep predicting what the answer will be instead of being like half turning your brain off and just being like, oh, I wonder what the answer choices say. Okay, don't do that. You're gonna lose time by doing that. Okay, so that's my first passage. Here we go. We're at 540 or 539, but 540. I'm about to get into the second passage. 3, 2, gotta double check the audio and the screen. Audio and screen, we're all good. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. By the way, I have seen all of these passages once before. So because it's only once, it's not like the theater dude. That's interesting. It's still kind of new to me. It's not the same as the first time taking it, but it's pretty similar. Once I read a passage like 4 or 5 times, then it becomes like something I basically memorize. But yeah, it's my second time. When George II established, so I need this. When George II established a local theater, he oversaw every aspect of each production. Okay, he's a producer. He's a producer. This is unusual. That sounds right. That's, while many principalities have court theaters, a duke usually would appoint a director. Of course, it's not normal for a duke to directly oversee each aspect. So I think no change. 13 has to be no change. Okay, I'm at 645. He not only supervised, he exercised control. Directors exerted little influence, but at the time, directors had no influence, but he did everything. He established the role of the modern director. Crazy, interesting guy. Here we go. George had recruited several. That seems a little off. When the theater company visited, the theater company? What's the theater company? See, okay. Yeah, we need to have a theater company. Oh, no. Interesting. It might be D. My gut feeling says D, because his work as a director, right. He established the role of a director, because we're transitioning from the previous paragraph. So that makes the most, I think that's kind of a weird transition, but it's the best right now. 750. Oh, am I taking too long? I am. I'm talking too long. I'm talking too much. By the production, elaborate sets and costumes. Okay, I'm at 805. Columns and decorative sculptures occupy the foreground of the stage. I want to talk about elaboration. While the backdrop, yes, elaboration. We need to have, yes, exactly. Okay, we need B. As they marveled at the scenery portraying Rosen, they each bedecked in footwear. Just give her the in clothing, footwear, and headdresses. A trumpet then signaled the entrance of seats. Whose toga and armor made him instantly? Who was, okay, maybe that also works. Who was instantly, right, that also works. C also works. So delighted they broke into applause before a word. That's pretty impressive. Before a word, I could have believed myself back in ancient Rome. Okay, it was like the original George Lucas. Okay, keep going. Because George Lucas, when he created the Star Wars set and everything, it was just such a huge, immense undertaking. The venue George's company used was different. See, the venue is very weird. He set the stage for the climactic murder by arranging the crowd, suggesting the inescapability of the fate. So it's maybe they're talking about symbolism, or he also orchestrated. Okay, see, he arranged and he orchestrated. He split the crowd into smaller units. He assigned. Oh, or comma assigning individual. Okay, yeah. So he's like, he not the venue, his control. We're talking about his control. He choreographed. Perfect. That is 1020. One feels oneself present. You feel it's such a big deal. He wondered. No, he mused. He observed. Okay. Of this, the same can be said of his achievement. It was a hit. Inspiring directors. The title is not what he himself was. The thing that inspired directors. Okay, so this is 10:55. Stop. Oops. 10:55. All right, I feel pretty confident on those 11, so I don't want to go back and double check. I'm pretty happy with what it is, so let's get into it. My predictions were not as amazing as the first passage, but I got to do what I got to do. So let me see. feel like I can make a quick fix that makes this a lot better for me. Sorry, let me change something on my screen to make it easier for me to manage some of these intricacies. Okay, so right now, all right, done with the technical bits. Let's go and score myself. So I chose for 12 through 15, B, A, D, D. B, A, D, D are correct. Then I chose, well, I cannot zoom for some reason, B, D, C. B, D, C are correct. Then I chose CB, CB 1920 are correct. Then I chose DD, DD are correct. That's 11 for 11. All right. Tips on this passage. Obviously, I can take any questions that you guys ask. But tips on this passage, let's look. For this one actually didn't require as much understanding of like what the paragraphs were about and like the general flow of like the actual writing, you know. But let me see if I can find a couple. There were two main idea or topic sentence questions, right? Like he recruited several little known actors. Like that's completely confusing, and you should know that immediately. If you didn't know that, you read 14 and I guarantee you more than 80% of you guys right now, you read 14 and you thought it sounded natural. Guys, that means you're not freaking reading. You're not reading. You're not reading. It doesn't sound natural. Why would you suddenly talk about several little known actors when the whole topic is about him being the theater duke who establishes the role of the modern director thanks to his elaborate sets and like realism and whatnot, right? Has no connection. Like, it's just like a random side fact. Okay, so if that doesn't immediately feel like it's awkward, if you didn't put a question mark next to it, you're not reading well. Okay, you could read better. So that's one situation where paying attention to the paragraphs is really would have been useful. And then again in 19, same deal. The venue, the theater duke, the venue was different from Shakespeare's time. Come on, it's like off topic. You should know that immediately. It's like feels like the wrong topic. If you knew that, good job. Okay, you're reading right. If you didn't, and if you had to go into 19 and you had to look at B and then C and then D, if you had to look at all that to figure out what the answer was, you're not doing it right. You're wasting time. Okay, you're not thinking. Think, read, and predict the answer before it even comes out. All right, so those are the two questions that are more, they require more of your reading skills, okay? So don't let your reading skills just suddenly just turn off, okay, on the writing test. It's not only about grammar. And the hard questions are not only about grammar. So keep that in mind. All right, here we go, passage 3. All right. 3, 2, sorry, I'm at 10:55 or 10:57 because I pushed it late. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Free to sing, free to sing. We're talking about, birds, okay. Munias, which are finches. They have bred them for their plumage. Generations of this selective breeding have produced a new species, the Bengalese finch, which exists, there we go. Such breeding was intended to produce qualities, but it also had an unintended consequence, increased sound complexity in the Bengal finch compared to that of, relative to the sound complexity of, A is fine. Just double checking, the Bengalese finch is the new one. Yeah. And the white-rumped munia is the original one, okay. Just double checking. So the new one is more complex. 12:10, let's go. To explain this phenomenon, Okanoya at first reasoned that finch song complexity was driven primarily by mate selection, okay, primarily by mate selection, he found that female finches tended to choose males with loud over those with soft, low-pitched, predictable songs. So breeders must have also selected the most dynamic singers. Okay. So tend to choose males over those. Yeah, that's A. I'm not going to see, and you know how I'm going to save time? I'm not going to read the rest because that's literally my prediction. However, Berkeley anthropologist Terence Deacon saw a contradiction in this idea. Okay. It should occur when there is pressure to identify a mate of the same species. After all, it should not. That is, it should not occur. That is, it should not occur among birds in captivity. I guess therefore, it should not occur. Hang on. Let me make sure I understand this. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no pressure, so that shouldn't, that original hypothesis makes no sense. Instead, lack pressure to find other white, random, it was randomness. Okay, this is random mutations that resulted a lot propagated, leading to more complex songs. Interesting. To test this hypothesis, tracked wild rainbows 3 areas of Taiwan. At each site, they measured, they analyzed, sure, flock composition. They took account of flock composition and measured the linearity of the songs, where 1 is simple and 0 is complex. 1445. The linearity was more than, so remember, lower is more complex, was more than 0.1 lower than the linearity at the urban site or the agricultural site. Hang on. It's more than, yeah, 0.1 is right, 0.1. But not 0.2, because 0.7, yeah. At the same time, a lower percentage of flocks at the urban site were mixed than at the mountain site. A lower percentage of, a higher percentage were mixed in the urban area. A greater percentage of the urban average were mixed than at the mountainous side. Okay, there we go. That's a bad writing, honestly, but whatever, I'll just deal with it. Because they're flipping the parallel structure and makes it more complicated. Together, these data suggest that higher sound complexity is associated with greater flock uniformity. Okay, interesting. The more uniform it is, okay, whereas in the mountains where they're more mixed, oh, no, sorry. In the mountain, it's more complex, and in the mountains, they're least mixed. That makes sense. Okay. It took me a while to figure that out. 1640. The study indicates that sound complexity, well, that's awkward, indicates that is subject to the pressure the birds need to identify mates. When this pressure is relaxed, it increases rather than decreases. Such relaxation explains sound complexity, okay, and provides, sure, intriguing support for the idea that bird song, that's a very weird topic to be focusing on, can evolve. Are we focusing on complex interaction selective pressures? No. what we're focusing on, okay, is just literally this one bird. It's all we're focusing on. But then, okay, no, but we're trying to place it within a larger scientific context. Okay, so what's, I guess then if it's larger scientific context, I guess A could make sense. Do not have to be domesticated, that's pretty randomly specific. Proves that habitat, no, that's not even supported. That's not, have more, no, we're not just comparing, oh, okay, A is the only one that's left. Weird. It's a weird, that's a atypical, that's a very, that was 0.5 actually. That's a very atypical way of writing. Like, you wouldn't just suddenly, like, this is not even a full sentence, right? The whole, there's no context. Like, it's like literally spending half of a sentence at the end of a full passage just to suddenly zoom out, which is a little weird. It's a little unusual. So that one's hard to predict. But does that mean that you should, just because this one question is hard to predict, does that mean that you should stop predicting on all the other 10 questions? Well, if you did that, go ahead and try it. Go and try it. Tell me if you actually save time by doing that. I guarantee you it is faster to predict. All right, well, I think that's good. So let's go into the answers. Where's my answers? Here we go. So I chose CBBA. CBBA are correct. Then I chose ACD. ACD are correct. That's up to 29, right? Yep. And 30, I chose AB. AB. And then I chose DA. DA are correct. 11 for 11. Okay, I'm 33 for 33 right now. And this one I actually didn't really remember. I don't think I remembered a single question at all while I was doing this. It felt very new to me while I was doing this. Okay, now I'm at 18 minutes and 5 seconds. So I've been making do on about 6 minutes per passage, right? Which makes me extremely fast. It happens. All right, let's get into the fourth passage and finish this off. Do I have any tips on this one? So there's some, that was, you guys have to be good with comparisons. So that 26 was a little tough for the comparison. And then you have to be able to read the graphs pretty quickly, but they're not hard. It's just like they're written in a sort of backwards way, where normally you would say the linearity at the mountainous side was more than 0.1 lower than that was greater than 0.1 lower would be honestly a little bit more natural. But whatever. Then at the urban side or the agriculture side, indicating greater sound complexity. At the same time, the percentage of flocks, the percentage of mixed flocks at the mountainous site was lower than at either of the other sites. See, if you start this 31, if you start this with mountainous side, then it keeps the parallel over here. So that would be a much more effective writing technique. It would be. The SAT sometimes does this though, where they break parallel for some reason, just to be more confusing. And I think I can defend them a little, okay? I can defend them a little. It's because in the real world, people do write by breaking parallelism all the time and like making it harder to understand. That's a true skill that you have to actually have, where you can kind of understand what they're talking about. You can track them even though they break parallelism all the time. That said, this is a writing test, and I kind of wish they would just write properly. Like, it's kind of like, why make this unnecessarily complicated, you know? That's not good writing. Like, there are techniques right? That everyone should learn. And it should be implicitly learned just by reading good writing. And you can teach through the test. You can kind of test specific skills that are relevant to that. But I don't know, this sort of flip-flopping, it makes it all way more complicated. So I don't know. I don't like these questions, but I can, if I have to, I can kind of defend it. Anyway, that's that. And 33 was a little weird because, but that just gets at the importance of, if you can't predict the question in advance, just read the damn question stem and make sure you fully understand the question stem. Okay, so you saw me make that prediction. I was like, that sounds very strange. And then I was like very, very confident that this was wrong. But then I read the question stem and then I immediately flipped around. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It means that I'm very nimble. It means that I can change my position based on new information very quickly. Okay, I'm not stubborn about it. So you should be able to do the same thing. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I'm at 1808. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Precision agriculture. Eyes in the sky. How is that related to agriculture? The use of technology, data analysis has a new tool. A drone. Okay. So drones can help with farming. I just had that drones, which I've already. It's kind of a little weird, but sure, could work. Depends on support. Okay, it has to be further developed in the passage. So this is almost certainly wrong. Okay. Decide that drones are just what they need. With the information, right? We're talking about analysis. So this is almost certainly the right answer because it's talking about, precision, technology, data analysis. Almost certainly has to do with information. That's 19. Detailed, okay, wow, we're doing paragraph restructuring. That's very uncommon. Detailed data about crop health provided by drones can guide decisions, such as, the data can guide decisions such as when to irrigate and whether to use chemical treatments without a question mark. Agricultural drones come equipped with a video that they can use to observe. Some drone companies also offer analysis services, sure, but that's kind of a little weird, but we're talking about the guiding decisions, right? Okay, with these maps, they can irrigate, apply according to their needs. So it's kind of an awkward sentence here, but let me just understand this. Offer. Okay, so we need to have maps. Okay, the profit, mobile apps, specialty crops. Oh, the next part of the sentence, sorry. They can combine digital files. Yeah, okay, analysis service. Digital files and the colored maps that mark zones and blah, blah, blah. That's analysis. That's analysis. Very strange. Feels a little weird, but I don't know what exactly it is that's weird, but something feels weird. But that said, I'm very confident in my answers, so I'm going to move on. Drones compare favorably with image capturing satellites and aircraft. Other technologies they're less expensive, are better images, and fly low to the ground. Oh, no. And because they fly low to the ground, can take pictures. Crazy. That's a hard one. You'll see. But this is a modifier here, right? Because they can, okay? And can. They are less expensive, they provide final grain images, and they can take pictures even on cloudy days because they fly low to the ground. You should be able to do that instantly, guys. Gene Hediger can attest to the advantages. Acquired a drone after losing half of her ROEs 1 year to weeds. That sounds about right because it gives some backgrounds. But no, is this background, she estimates that identifying products faster. Transition between, okay. We're trying to stay, okay, so can attest to advantages faster. So we need to have something about identifying problems faster. She estimates that identifying problems faster will save her in future years. Okay, will save her in future years. considerably more. Okay, B is correct. Considerably more. I was gonna put a comma originally, but yeah. Okay. So I just want to losing. So problems and weeds is connected. So I think 38A might work. No, no. Okay, A is correct. Yep, A is correct. I had to process eliminate that. Something felt a little off for me, but yeah. Here we go. Pilots who fly planes for crop dusting and other purposes experience disquiet regarding what? The presence. Something's really dislike the presence of Jones or something. Worry about, sure. Drones might be accidentally flown, or objections may be addressed. Here, there, addressed, exactly. Okay, so this is towards the end. Would I want to change any of the paragraph order? That's kind of strange. Despite these challenges, it's important for drones to be integrated. If they are used effectively, they hold the promise of making farms. Okay. Any discussion of drones must acknowledge concerns. Oh, this is this paragraph, paragraph 4, right? Yeah. Beginning of paragraph 4. Acknowledge potential safety concerns surrounding their use, because this is the safety concerns. Yeah. I'm pretty confident on all those. I had to kind of process a little slowly for some of them, but 23:45. So I have 15 minutes, not 15. I have 11 minutes extra, which I think is is pretty typical for me. I didn't really remember this passage. I had seen it before once, but I didn't really remember it much at all. It felt very new, and there was not a single question that I remembered the answer to before I selected it. So, yeah. I mean, take my word or leave it, but yeah, that's my situation right now. Let's go into scoring. Here we go. I chose. Oh, guys, I actually have here. I'm actually a little late. It looks like. So give me a sec. I'll finish this off ASAP, but I just need to ask for 5 minutes, okay? Give me a sec. Okay, so let me just wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up in less than 5 minutes. Here we go. So let's at least get through the answers. Where'd my answers go? 34. I chose CBA. CBA are correct. Then I chose DAAB. DAAB are correct. Then I chose DB. DB are correct. And then I chose CC. CC are correct. So that's 11 for 11, or 44 for 44. Okay. I got 44 for 44 in 23 minutes and 45 seconds while also talking, talking a lot. So I think I could do potentially even better on a real test where I don't have to talk. So, not to jinx it, but I should be getting a perfect on the writing, unlike last time, which was like a freak accident. Very annoying that happened. But things happen. Guys, that's the writing test. For this particular passage, the hard one, I already gave you my tip for the hard one. The really hard one is and because dude, you guys have to be fast with modifiers. Like what is this modifier? This is a specific type of modifier. It's a subordinate clause, or you guys call it dependent clause. But subordinate clause, dependent clause, whatever you call it, it's a modifier. It's not the main skeleton of the sentence. It's something you can move around the sentence, right? So go back and listen to what I said on 37 as I was solving it, because it's not actually that hard if you're good with logically sorting your ideas. The grammar is very logically clear about that, so you can figure it out. Besides that, I mean, it's a bunch of little nitpicky grammar and vocabulary issues, and 34 is actually shouldn't be that hard, I think. 36 should also not be that hard because it's literally right there in the second half of that sentence. And 44 should, yeah. So I think for this one, it was kind of the grammatical ones that were a little harder. So for those, you can ask me specific questions in the comments below. All right, guys. No particular tips for this, besides just be good with modifiers, and don't get tripped out by modifiers. Read the whole sentence from beginning to end and make sure that the sentence connects. Okay, you can't say and twice at the end of a list. All right, guys. Besides the minor technical issue at the beginning with the audio problem, which is really sad because I made some amazing predictions in time. I keep trying to be a better streamer, and I hope that what I do is useful for you guys. Let me know what you guys like in the comments below. It helps me. Also, you can, if you want, you can hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for the notifications, and that will help you keep up with me as I focus primarily on the reading, okay? But as I pump out as many QAS live streams as possible, okay? So I'll be doing that going forward. I'll be finishing off all the QAS before June, so you can look forward to that. And I'm very open to advice or not advice, for feedback or just to hear what you guys need. So I'm always open to your ideas. And zooming back on you guys, just remember, every single day, as long as you're growing a little bit, the outcomes will follow. So keep on growing and take care. Good luck out there, guys.